Hey guys, this is PCRT. Today we are going to make this pendulum animation in Blender using Python. So let's get started. So we are gonna set up the scene first. Let's give a little extra space. We're gonna create the stick first. Let's go to side view. And then I am going to go to Object, set Origin to 3D cursor. After all, we wanted to rotate like this, you know. Okay. Control B. Let's add a torus. We are going to close this place. Great. Remember to save it. Let's add a plane. Let's set up material of this stick here. I think it's just too bright. The end of the clip of the camera is just too short. Now let's add material to it. You can set up the scene a little bit first. Choose a HDR map. This one is okay. Let's turn on ambient occlusion, although I don't think it helps. Let's just turn it off. I want a screen space reflections. Turn on refraction. I think the light is just still too bright. We turn down the environment map a little bit. Let's add a material to the ground. I can see a little bit of a reflection, right? Good. We will change this material to a gold-ish material. Metallic. This is fine. This is fine. Control S to save. Hit tab. Let's add a new material and assign to this part. I wanted this part to be a glowish look material. I'll leave it white. We can turn on bloom to see that. Great, this is okay. Is it okay, I guess? Now we duplicate this stick. I want to turn on snap. Go to side view. Shift. I think I've already had one. Shift D again. And just keep it here. No, just keep it here. Shift D another one. I think this is fine. One, two, three, four, five. We'll have 5 for now. Make the floor a little bit up. And I don't want to snap that. Good. Alright, so we have 5 sticks. Cube, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the scene setup is complete. Let's start Python scripting. Before we start coding, let's select one of the stick and go and hit N and take a look at the tab here, the scale. Make sure they're 1 and no rotation at all. The location we just would leave it there. We'll leave it there. Rotation scale. Good, good. Okay, let's hit B. Select all the sticks. Let's start scripting. First thing I want to do is to import BPY. That's the first thing we do. And let's save all selected objects in the list. And then let's save the angles. What angles? First thing first, let's hit RY 45. This is the first step, right? Well, actually, this is the first step. We'll add a keyframe at this current location, which rotation of the Y is 0, and then we will hit RY 45, just move to here, and then it'll move back here, so 0, and then 45, and then 0, and then minus 45, and then 0. That's all the stages that we will add keyframe to. Let's store them in the list again. Actually, I want to rotate 30 degrees. I think 30 degrees will be enough. Yeah, it's enough. Good. So first is 0, and then 30, and then minus 30, right? 30. Okay, good. 30, and then go to 0, and then go to minus 30, right? And then go to 0, and then go to 30, and go to 0, go back to 0, go to minus 30, and 0. And this is fine. This is enough. 0, 30, 0, minus 30, and 0. So the first frame, first rotation, and the last rotation is the same. Why I don't stop it here is that actually we are gonna use the frame starting from here to here, so that they will look like a looped animation. Alright, let's get started. Now, I wanted to rotate each frame, rotate each angles with 10 frames. So let's store a value, rotate frames equals to 10. And then I wanted to add a delay. What delay? When the first frame goes to excuse me, let's see. The first angle is 0, right? And next angle it'll just go to 30. It'll go 30. And then after 10 frames, the next one's gonna go to 30. The next one's gonna go to 30. This one. So that it'll just look like the second one is following the first one, and the third one is following the second one. Okay, delay frames. Now let's loop through it. We wanted to keep track of which stick is processing. Current stick 0. Okay, let's loop it. Set current object as active. Now we can change the property. We set all the keyframes for the first one, and then we'll go to the next one. stuff like that. Okay, so first frame is actually frame 0, and at the frame 10, rotate frames, right? Rotate 10 frames from 0, angle 0 to angle 30. Okay, hope it makes clear. Let's loop through all the angles here. The length of the angles is actually it's a number. It's a number. So let's print. Oh, I'm sorry. So let's print the number to see if we are rotating in the if it is correct. Now, since I print it in console, if you hit run, you will see Python script failed. Let's go to console and take a look at it. It says int object is not iterable. So actually we can change this part. It says this part is something wrong with it, right? Line 16. We have to just change it to a range. Range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Range 9. Basically, it loops from 0 to 9. Okay, let's print it again. Now it says 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It gives us 9 numbers from 0 to 8 that we can pass it to this list to get the angles that we want. Let's print it to take a look at it. And it'll print all the angles that we need. Right over, okay, we're gonna uncomment this. Control / all the angles we need, that they're here. Okay, so let's add keyframe to each angle. So first thing, we are going to store the angles, current angle to the to a variable. And then let's apply the current rotate angle to the object, to the select object, which is here, active one. Okay. Rotate. How do I know that I have to change this one? Is actually let's go here, and we hover our cursor here. You can take a look at bpy.data.objects_cube.rotation Euler 1 means y, 0 means x. If you don't see Python stuff at the bottom, just go to edit, preferences, and go to interface. Check this Python tooltips. It'll work. Alright, we're gonna change a rotation Euler to we're gonna change the y rotation, right? Y axis. We don't want to change x. I'm gonna pass current rotation angle here. Rotate angle 0. Pass it to 0 to z. Now it'll cause problem since we pass the angle here. However, it need a radian value, right? Radian or radian? I'm sorry. I'm still learning English. To pass this to Euler rotation, we need to convert this angle to a value between 0 to 1. So we're going to import another function from math, import radians. so that we can change this angle to a value from 0 to 1, just like this. Okay, now we apply the rotation to an object. We have to add a keyframe so that it'll just animate it for us. Rotation data path would be rotation Euler. Frame is current frame location. Now, we haven't defined current frame location yet. What we're going to do is that we're going to calculate where to add this value. Basically, the first value is that the first rotation angle is 0 at the frame 0, right? And the next frame is at 10, frame 10, right? Basically, it's this value multiplied by the number of angles currently we are applying to the object. Okay. Let's give a little more space here. So it's actually rotate frames multiplied by num, which is if let's say the first value of this num is actually 0, right? It means the first angles. So the rotate frame current frame location will be 0. If this one is 1, the rotate frames current frame location will be 10, right? Because this is 10, this is 1, and then we will insert a keyframe at frame 10. Okay, so this is the first object, right? We should keep count. We should keep count. When it's next object, we will add a delay frames here. We'll add a delay frame here. Okay. Excuse me. So we will go to next stick if this angle's done here. And let's add the delay for next object. Delay frames multiplied by current stick. So when we're first looping through this object, the current stick would be 0, right? So no delay at all. If we go to next object, this current stick will be 1, right? So it'll add a 10 frame delay for all these angles here. If it is next object, we'd add a 2 multiplied by delay frames, which is 20, right? This object start at 20, right? This start at 10. This start at 30. This start at 40, I guess, right? Okay, so I think we're done. Let's try to add this keyframe to all the object here. Make sure to select all the sticks here. Your current frame at frame 0, and let's run the code. Let's get it up. Oh, we can see we have some keyframes here, and we select the first one. It begins at 0, ends at 80. Next one start at 10, which is this delay frames here, and it looks fine. Okay, so it ends at 120. We will change this frame end to 120. Let's hit shift play. It's okay. It's okay. But as you can see, it's not a. I think the angles or just too much. Just too much. We'll just scale that down. Select all your sticks. Mouse hover here, hit X, delete keyframes. We just change all the angles to, let's say 20. Let's hit run again. Shift space. This is okay, right? This is okay. Alright. Some of you may notice that this is not a looped animation. However, if we go to frame 40, everything starts. Let's find a place which they all rotating and somehow they stay at a certain location, right? I hope you understand what I mean, right? Okay. They're rotating. 40. 40, 80. Let's see. Now the first, this object, it starts at 40, it stops at 80. However, it has a pause at the center, right? We can solve this by go to animation, key, interpolation mod to linear. I think now it's okay. It's a looped animation. Great. Alright, so you can just render out the frame from 0 to 40 and then 40 to 80 and loop from 40 to 80, so it just looks like that it starts and then looping forever. Alright, you can add more sticks to it as long as you select everything and then run the script, and then you have to figure it out when to start the frame, when to end the frame, so it will look like a looped animation. That's it for today's tutorial. I'll see you next time. Bye bye everybody.